Have you ever felt like you're on one side of the fence looking in? Like there's a world of people who seem to have it all figured out, and then there's just you. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Watching others thrive while you feel stuck. They seem confident, successful, and happy. They're one of them. And then there's you, unsure, overwhelmed, and wondering if you'll ever get there. You see them excelling in their careers, building relationships, or pursuing passions, and it's easy to think, they have something I don't. Maybe they were born lucky. Maybe they had opportunities you didn't. Maybe they're just better. But let me tell you something that might surprise you. That person you admire, they didn't start as one of them. They started as you. They had doubts that kept them awake at night. They faced rejection, failure, and moments when they wanted to give up. They weren't born with some secret formula for success. They weren't handed their dreams on a silver platter. What made the difference was that they chose to take the first step, and then another, and another. It wasn't always easy. They stumbled, they fell, but they kept going. And that's the secret no one tells you. Success isn't about being born into the right circumstances. It's not about luck or talent alone. It's about showing up even when it's hard. It's about choosing to believe that you are capable of becoming one of them. Think about it, every person you look up to was once where you are now. They had a dream but no clear path. They had potential but no guarantees. What set them apart was their willingness to try, to fail, and to keep going. The gap between one of us and you isn't as wide as it seems. It's bridged by small, consistent actions. It's in the decision to get up and try again after a setback. It's in the courage to take a risk, even when you're unsure of the outcome. You see, the journey from you to one of us isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about realizing that you're capable of more than you give yourself credit for. But here's the thing, it starts with you. It starts with silencing the voice that says, you can't. It starts with taking that first step, no matter how small. It starts with believing that you deserve to succeed, that your dreams are worth fighting for. And yes, it's scary, it's uncomfortable, but growth always is. Every time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you're one step closer to becoming one of us. Let me ask you this. Have you ever looked back on a challenge you thought was impossible and realized you were stronger than you gave yourself credit for? Maybe it was a project at work, a tough conversation, or even a personal goal like getting healthier. At first it felt daunting, didn't it? But with every small step you moved forward. That's how it starts, not with giant leaps but with small, consistent steps. It's not about comparing yourself to others. It's not about measuring your progress against someone else's highlight reel. It's about focusing on your journey, celebrating your wins, and learning from your losses. Because every small step adds up. Every effort counts. And one day you'll look around and realize you're no longer on the outside looking in. You've become one of us. Not because you changed who you are, but because you became the person you were always meant to be. So what's stopping you? Is it fear? Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough? Let me tell you something. Everyone feels fear. The difference is that some people choose to act in spite of it. Think about the last time you were afraid to do something. Maybe it was speaking in public, applying for a new job, or sharing an idea in a meeting. What happened when you faced that fear? Chances are you realized it wasn't as bad as you thought. Or maybe you learned something valuable even if things didn't go perfectly. Fear is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. Is it doubt? Doubt in your abilities, your worth, your potential? Doubt is normal, but don't let it paralyze you. Use it as fuel to prove yourself wrong. Remember, every successful person has faced doubt. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. They kept going, even when they weren't sure they would succeed. Is it the belief that success is for other people, not for you? Let go of that lie. Success doesn't discriminate. It's available to anyone willing to work for it. The only thing separating one of us from you is you. It's the choices you make, the risks you take, and the perseverance you show when things get tough. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I met someone who dreamed of starting their own business. They had the skills, the passion, and the idea, but they were stuck. Every time they thought about taking the leap, they'd say, "What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough?" One day, they decided to take a small step. They started working on their business plan. Then they reached out to a few potential clients. It wasn't a huge leap, just a small, consistent effort. Fast forward a year and they had a thriving business. What made the difference? They stopped waiting for the perfect moment and started with what they had. So what's your first step? It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be big, it just has to be something. Take that first step, and then another and another. Because every step you take brings you closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Every effort you make builds the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. And one day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. You'll see that the person you once admired is no different from you. They just chose to believe in themselves and take action. And so can you. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. You'll face challenges, but you'll overcome them. You'll have moments of doubt, but you'll push through. And in the end, you'll realize that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the willingness to try. So what's it going to be? Are you going to stay on the outside looking in, or are you going to take that first step and start becoming one of us? The choice is yours, because the only thing separating one of us from you is you. This version includes additional examples, rhetorical questions, and pauses to extend the delivery time to approximately 8 minutes. It maintains the motivational tone while engaging the audience more deeply.